Hey everybody, how many of you have an online video account? Video rental account, that is. Alright, same here. But how many of you have a Blockbuster one? Okay. How many of you have what I have? A Netflix account. Which I have proof right here. How many of you have that? I could definitely probably see that many of you do. But how many of you have both? Okay, maybe quite a few of you. But can you tell me what the biggest difference between both online video rental accounts are? Can you tell me what the biggest difference is? Well, I'll tell you. Blockbuster, before most of its stores, including here in town, went out of business or were closed up due to financial reasons, gave you the option of renting from the store, renting, movies and games from the stores that would be mailed to you, because they would have these little promotional brochures or pictures or whatever you want to call them, or backings as they call them, with the barcode. And thus, once you did that, you were assured through your email and through the store itself that your rental that you'd be getting from going through the mail would be heading your way. Alright. The other thing that Blockbuster had advantage-wise is even when you would just rent online from them, they gave you the option of returning it at the store. So in other words, once you return it at the store, it became acknowledged about the same day that you had returned it. Okay? And this also goes with video games. But here's the biggest difference between that and Netflix. Now, I'm not sure how the online membership thing goes. I'm not sure that if you can't pay your membership, then maybe they ask you to return a movie or so, or a game or so, or you end up buying it. Because I know when I had GameFly, I couldn't pay one of my monthly memberships, or I couldn't pay a membership for 1 month, and due to financial reasons, my membership was canceled, and I ended up buying 2 games from GameFly. Those games being Mortal Kombat vs. DC and Disney Sports Basketball. 2 games which I like. Now, that's the biggest difference there, folks. That's the biggest difference there. There, if you will. Because I'm not sure how the membership thing works. But I do know that Netflix membership is different. However, I will admit that Blockbuster, even still, in a way, if some of the stores are still open, has an advantage over Netflix. Because like I said, Blockbuster allows you to return a movie you rent online to the store. And thus, by returning it to the store, or in your town, it's acknowledged as being returned that day. So let's say, for example, you get a movie like, say, The Fighting Sullivans, which I got today in the mail from Netflix. The Fighting Sullivans. Let's say you get that from Blockbuster. You order that, but let's say you get that from online on Blockbuster. You rent it online, you get it in the mail. Then, after you've watched it, or in some cases like mine, you use one of your DVD Fab copy softwares to make a copy for you and your family. The day you get it, and after you've done all that, you go to your local store and you return it. So within the day that you got it, it's also acknowledged that you've returned it. I admit, That's the one advantage that Blockbuster might still have if some of the stores are still open. But again, going back to what I said earlier, I'm not sure if they go by the same thing that GameFly does, and that is if you don't pay your membership for a month, it's canceled and you're forced to return a movie or a game, or else you end up paying for it. I'm not sure if that's how it works. Maybe some of you out there could tell me. Now, the biggest difference though between the Blockbuster and the Netflix is when your membership is canceled, is when you can't, well, not when your membership's canceled, but when you can't pay your membership for a month or so, they don't cancel your membership. They don't. They just wait it out. They wait it out. They don't send you no notice of saying, oh, you got to return this or else you pay for it. They don't do that. They let you keep it as long as you want. And when you finally do pay, it's like, okay, fine. You can't pay 1 month, that's fine. They don't do anything to you. That's the one advantage Netflix has. Now, the other similarity, though, that Netflix has with Blockbuster is the fact that you can stream movies online or stream movies through the different devices. For example, with Blockbuster, you have to probably own a certain DVD player or a Blu-ray player or a certain TiVo player to watch some stuff online, maybe even a PS3. You have to own stuff like that to watch Blockbuster movies online. Netflix is totally different. See, Netflix may be similar in that department, but they're totally different because of one reason. Unlike Blockbuster, they don't just limit themselves to DVD players, Blu-ray players, and TiVo, and maybe one game console. No. What they do is they expand. They expand, folks. That's what they do. Now you might say, well, Blockbuster also probably does stuff online with an iPod and an iPhone and an Android and whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Blockbuster may do that. There's no doubt about it. But mostly what this is known for is for renting online. See what I'm saying? This is only available for like renting online. Now I'm not sure if you could stream on here Blockbuster stuff. You probably can't, but I'm not really sure. But again, the difference that Netflix has, even though it's similar, is they expand. I mean, an iPod, an iPad, an iPhone, an Android, whatever you want to call it, an HTC, if you will, they let you watch movies like that with no problem. If you got an Xbox, no problem. You got the Netflix thing right there. You got a Wii, no problem. You got the Netflix thing right there. You got a PS3, no problem. Netflix is right there. What I'm saying, folks, is even though Netflix has mostly been online, get them through the mail kind of deal, just like Blockbuster, they stream the movies online, but the problem is they have more access to other stuff than Blockbuster. See, like I said, Blockbuster limits itself to certain devices and maybe one game console. Netflix, they don't. They expand. They expand. I mean, if you have an iPhone, and let's say you're on a long trip, and you want to watch a movie, will Blockbuster Online probably give you that? Well, if it has a certain partnership with a certain mobile device, maybe it will. But most of the time, you have to basically have Netflix. It's true. You got to have Netflix. I was just checking my time there. But you got to have Netflix, folks. I know that sounds like I'm being biased, but I'm not. I'm just comparing the differences. And the difference is Netflix is more expanded. Let's say you want to watch The Green Hornet with Seth Green. Well, Seth Rogen. Let's say you want to watch that. The only way I know of, a majority of way you can do it is through Netflix. Like I said, if you got a certain device that has a partnership with Blockbuster, then yeah. No problem. No problem. You can watch it online there. But the thing is, folks, it all depends on what you have and what they don't have. On what Netflix offers and what Blockbuster doesn't. Now, I will admit the other advantage Blockbuster Online has when it comes to online rentals is the fact that you can rent games. The only disadvantage is if you want to rent the newest games through Blockbuster, you can't. You got to wait almost 3 to 4 months. Because I remember back in October when SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 came out, I wanted to rent. But then I found out that it would only be available for online rental in February. So basically, if you think about it, October, November, December, January, February, nearly 4.5 months I would have to wait. And that's a disadvantage that they have because the person that has an advantage, because the company that has the advantage over that is GameFly. Now I know a lot of people are saying that, you know, Netflix would really be the man, would really be the company, would really be the man, would be the champions of online rental, would be the WWE, if you will, of rentals, would be the UFC of rentals, would be the World Series, Super Bowl, NBA champions of online rentals and all that if they expanded to games. And it's true, they probably would be. But you see, from what I understand, they're not really interested in that right now because maybe it would be more than they can handle. But here's another advantage they have. If you decide to return your movie after you've watched it or DVD fabbed it or DVD ripped it, if you will, once you return your movie, you have a choice of where to return it. You don't have one location like I think Blockbuster has, and I think that's Dallas, Texas. You have the advantage of returning it anywhere you want. I mean, today I got 2 movies from San Jose, from the San Jose facility, and 1 movie from the San Francisco facility. But yet, I have saved up some of the envelopes, the return envelopes, and one of them I saved up is from West Sacramento. And it doesn't matter where it's sent, as long as it gets back to them and it's acknowledged. You know, like I said, it's kind of like with Blockbuster. You return it in the stores, it's acknowledged. But, you know, when you return it online to Dallas, you can only return it to Dallas. Here, Netflix gives you the choice of anywhere around. If you have a facility in Kansas City, return to Kansas City. If you have a facility in Topeka, but you get the movie from Kansas City, send it to Topeka. Topeka, Kansas City. You get the idea. That's the advantage that Netflix has. So overall, the question is, what is the better choice, comparison-wise? Well, in my opinion, I believe it's Netflix. I truly do. But if you wanted to rent games online along with movies and then return them the same day to a store, I'd say Blockbuster has the advantage. So it's kind of 50-50, but I think in a way Netflix beats them out. And I think the next step for Netflix, believe it or not, is for them to actually open up a chain of stores around the country. I believe that's the next step. So, comment down below, tell me if you agree with what I said, and tell me if you want to do a video response, who you feel is better. Do you think Netflix is or Blockbuster? So, tell me below, and I'll talk to you later.